And I know what you're thinking. Are they going to review a film that didn't go well?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Because most of our things don't go well.
No, but that's the beautiful thing.
I think if we were to do the math, it's probably, now looking back, because we published a lot of things that we shouldn't have published. That's just the reality. On my channel, there's about 350 videos, but there are only 34 there, or 35 or 40 something, about 10%. So 90% of the things that we do go wrong, and then we unlist them.
All my clients watching this, it's got nothing to do with...
Nothing to do with qubits. It's me, actually. It's me.
No, it's a team effort.
Let's make that clear. I do go off on tangents. If you ever come watch me speak or preach, be prepared for at least half an hour. At least.
We hold things lightly.
Yeah. Yeah. And if, they don't work, they don't work. But we had this brilliant idea to recycle content. So what didn't work, we packaged it in a way that would work. So if they go on the other channel, Pedro on Purpose, these videos are there as little clips to talk to the people who are still lost in the matrix because they have short attention span and they have no quality of thinking. So we need to talk to them in a language they understand. Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys are on the other channel. That's the reality. But at least if you're watching this, the two of you who are watching this, one of them being my mom and Jordan's parents. So if you're watching this, at least you want to go deep, and that's the idea. So on this case, we were in Burley, and we've been recording stuff, and then this guy goes on a Lamborghini. Yeah,
this is one of my favorite videos. This is a topic that I really can't wait to dive into.
All right, well, cool. So you do most of the talking on this one. All right, so we'll play the video, and then you can watch it. It's 3 minutes, and then we'll come back with the comments. This guy was driving a Lambo, purple Lamborghini. This is the pinnacle, the epiphany of I've made it, right? This guy is driving a Lamborghini, and he's gassing on like, rah, rah. And everyone's looking, everybody's looking. And then people put out their phones, and they started recording. Like I recorded it. They like, recording this guy, and we were asking this guy, step on the gas, and it's loud. And I felt like this guy had this need to be seen through the lenses of what he had. That is the worst illusion someone can live on. If you need things to be your clothes, to be your wrapping, and people perceive who you are for what you have, oh my Lord, you're gonna fall so flat on the ground. Materialism is an illusion. And I have been brought up with the concept that you have to amount more. You have to build more. I'm going to close with this. This is going to be good. Jesus says that a man is not known by what he has. And then he tells this story. Once upon a time, there was this guy who became very rich. His crops amounted to so much that his storage was overflowing, to the point that he comes to the storage one day and then he asks himself this question: what am I going to do with everything that I have? What am I going to do with all this? Look around. What are you going to do with the 3 houses, the 4 houses? What are you going to do with the 5 cars in your garage? What are you going to do with the holiday house? These are the fundamental questions of life that objective reality will hit hard when you ask. So Jesus says, this guy is looking at his barn. What am I going to do? And then he says, I know. I am going to build myself a larger barn. More. So I can store my crops. And then this voice comes to him and said, you're stupid. You're a fool. If you think your life consists on the things that you have, you're stupid. You're a fool. Because that's what the voice says to him in the text. Tonight, your soul will be required of you. So what's the point of all this? What's the point?
Who's going to enjoy all this? That's an illusion. You need to step out of that illusion and realize that your essence is inside, is in who you are. It's not the material, it's the inside.
Now, if you want to know more
about
how to develop...
Wow. That is a good one. So, Jordan,
What are you filming?
tell me, what do you think about that one?
I think it hits hard to someone that's grown up in a generation of, materialism's always been a thing. But I think this day and age is just so heightened. It's thrown in our faces, and it's
It's almost in our DNA now. I feel at least. There's examples everywhere, and we're just constantly comparing ourselves. And people are giving their time, money, attention, and lives to obtaining things that they will get, and then in a couple of weeks' time, the novelty's worn off.
Yep.
And I
We
keep
all have
thinking,
been there with the phones.
we've been there.
Got a new iPhone. 2 weeks later, the screen's broken. Really.
Yeah, yeah. What were you thinking when that Lambo drove past and he made a racket, and we looked at this one man in a big, expensive Lamborghini that can only hold two people, and we saw this man giving everything he had to the pedal, and he got attention,
Yeah.
and then drove off.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, the sad part for me is the need of attention. Like, I honestly don't have anything against anyone who wants to have a Lamborghini. It's if you're gonna live life without any spiritual elements to it, and you find joy in cars, by all means, buy a Lamborghini. If that makes you happy, and I'm talking like not spiritually, if that makes you happy, buy a Lamborghini. Yeah, I have nothing against it. The problem is when the Lamborghini happens in detriment of the important things. Maybe it's that, maybe it's helping others, maybe it's being altruistic, maybe it's being part of a community or whatever. But some people actually have nice cars and they still do nice things. So I have nothing against it. But the sad part for me is the need of attention. Like, I think I'm ready in my character that if I ever had an expensive car like that, there would be no need to push on the accelerator to call attention. Damn it, the purple Lamborghini already calls enough attention, bro. So I wouldn't do that. And the fact that they need attention, like, I'll give you another example. People go to a concert, they pull out the phones and record the concerts. Fact number one, no one's gonna watch your video about the concerts because it's pretty bad. Bad sound, bad lighting. Fact number two, you will never watch that thing again because it's gone. The only reason why we record it is because we want to make other people jealous. So it's not even about us. The purple Lamborghini gassing out, it's not about the guy, it's about others. And the worse I make you feel, the better I feel. That's the system.
Put you down, puff me up.
Yeah. We're not looking at, like, the blue ocean thing. We're not looking, well, okay, that the saying in the market is there are, I think it's winnowers, and there are sharks. I think it's winnowers, the name of the thing. It's a little fish that feeds off whales and sharks. And if you're not a shark, if you don't know what you are, you're not a shark. That's what they say.
That's it, yeah.
How about the dolphins? Have you ever studied the dolphins? Dolphins, they don't go around killing other things for nothing except for survival, but they live together. They live in the community. And if the ocean was populated with dolphins, it will almost be like overcrowded because they have found ways to strive without putting others down. No wonder the scientists say that they have the most advanced brain. But okay, blue ocean strategy. It doesn't have to be red. It can be a win-win situation. You just got to figure it out. But in the world, the way up is stepping on other people. Like, the ladder is made of other people. The body count on your history will determine your success. The amount of people you have left behind. Like, this is sad. This is sad. We don't find joy in other people winning.
No.
We just wish it was us. Oh, I wish that was me. I wish that was me. And yeah, I don't think I would do that. That's the sad part for me. And yeah, how Jesus goes about it, man. It's just like the parable. Because the point of the parable, in general, is to tell a story that's not obvious. That's the point of the parable, right? So when you read the parable and all you can understand is the obvious, you haven't understood the parable. Okay, so in that parable that Jesus tells, he goes, okay, he amounted to a lot of things. For what? What are you going to do with this? Because tonight your soul will be required of you. So when you read it, you conclude it, you go like, oh, the guy's going to die. He did all of that for nothing. But the point of the parable is one step ahead. The point of the parable is, therefore, do not gather treasure on earth. Because on earth, the moth and the, what is it?
Like rust.
Yeah, it will rust.
Erodes.
The moth will eat, the thief will steal.
Yeah.
Like all of these things are ready to be consumed. But gather treasure in heaven. Here's an interesting thing. In another passage, Jesus says something, and if you read the Bible carefully, you'll understand that the gospel is a collection of puzzles. It's not necessarily chronological. Very hard to understand the gospel chronologically. So there was another point in history where Jesus said this: use your money, use your material possessions here to make friends in heaven, to make friends in eternity. What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I think it's totally using what we would do to create our own heaven on earth to help other people come to the same place where we're destined to go.
Yeah, exactly. So you will use what you have and love people. But our system is about using people and loving what you have.
Which is why you hear people say often, like, the thing isn't necessarily evil, but the love for the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's go back to money. The only thing that Jesus compares to God, okay? Talking about possessions, materialism, money. You cannot serve two masters.
No.
It's the only thing that Jesus equates to a master, to a God. You either serve one or love one and hate the other. And he says, the love of money has corrupted many things. Oh, I think it's James that says that later on. But James was Jesus' brother, so he probably got it from him. But it's the love for money. It's not money. Money is not good or evil.
No.
It's what you do with it.
Yeah.
The love for money. And yeah, man, the point of the parable is, what is that for? So I would encourage people to ask themselves the question, I need another house. Why? Just ask why. Like, because I need more comfort. Seriously?
I was building a business when I met Pedro, and Pedro was like, oh, cool, so what's the goal? And I was like, oh, to make more money? And he was like, oh, yeah,
Why?
and then what? I was like, that was it. And then that's when I woke up. I was like, I could spend the rest of my life accumulating for the sake of accumulating.
Yeah. So let's talk about a transformation. A year later, when we ask you now, what's the point of your business? Why you do what you do? What do you say?
For me, it's literally to fund my purpose, which is my mission, which is what I'm here to do, which is partly this.
Okay, summarize that in words like you did to me.
Like I summarized it. Man,
What's your mission?
my mission is to help people tell their stories.
There you go. So just that, bro. I'll use you as an example, okay? A year ago, your business, the video business, was make more money.
Yeah.
Very futile, like Alexander the Great, took all his possessions to the grave to show people that none of that goes with him. The great philosophical concept. Denzel Washington says that in a lot of interviews. I've never seen anyone going to a funeral with a U-Haul connected to the car because you don't take stuff. So a year ago, it was about money. 1 year later, you want to fund your ministry, which is summarized in helping people tell their stories. Now, you could wake up tomorrow with zero money in your bank account, but with the skills that God has given you and you have obviously honed it, you can fulfill your mission even if you don't get paid.
100%. And at the bottom line, it's just to help people find Jesus.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So we got two very intrinsic missions right here because we're both trying to tell people about Jesus.
Yeah.
In connected ways. Yeah, helping one another. So that's good.
But it's amazing what gets in the way. you
Yeah.
know?
Distractions.
Distractions.
Interesting, but there's a video on my channel about distractions, but I normally, how people think about backslid people. Oh, they're backsliding. There is no such a thing as a backslider.
Well, tell me more.
You can't backslide because you never slid in anyway. It's not your merit. You never did anything to win. So how do you lose something you didn't win? You didn't, because if you read carefully, you were saved before the foundation of the world. So it's regardless of what you do or don't do. And I'm not saying you go ahead and keep living a life of sin or all that. But regardless of what you do, it's not based on your merit or your actions. So you can't lose what you didn't win. You can't lose what's not yours. Salvation belongs to the Lord. So it's not yours. So people talk about backsliding. You know, he was here and then he's not here anymore. No, he was never here.
Man.
He was never here. Not spiritually. Not in the eternal now. He might have come past here,
Yeah.
but he was never here. You know, and why did I start this?
I don't know.
Bring me back, Jordan.
I want to keep my life in the hands of the man that put me here.
Yeah, but you can't do anything to keep your life in there anyway.
No.
You know, you see how complicated this is? You can't do anything to keep your life there because he is the one that keeps there. It is his faithfulness. Another concept, we think, it's this is totally off tangent, but we think, oh, no, I want to be faithful to God. You can't. You will never be faithful to God. Who are you to be faithful to God? The next thought that you will have will probably be corrupted before God. Your thoughts, even the best intentions you have, are like dirty clothes, to use a better expression, to God. You know that text in Isaiah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So
Some people are getting real uncomfortable right now.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah. You know what it would mean in our language, modern terms. It would be like dirty pads out of
and tampons
menstruation.
and stuff, yeah.
Ugh. You know, I saw this video of this guy, his wife said that the tampon got stuck in there and it was his job to get it out. And he was literally like that. He was, whoa.
Yeah, that's full on.
So for a man, that's probably full on. You know, women do that all the time. But imagine how dirty that is. Full of bacteria and all of that. That's the best of your intentions, the best actions, your best deeds. Like the time that you felt the best helping people, God looks at that and go like,
Pedro hit me once because I used to love planning. He's like, man makes plans and God laughs.
yeah, that's it. That's a Jewish saying. And I mean, God's so beyond everything, but you can't be faithful and you can't backslide because it was never your merit. So like the concept of, you know, holiness. Oh, I'm going to live my life holy. Yeah, good for you. But that is it. It is only good for you. It's not a favor you're doing to God. Oh, I'm going to fast on this. You think God cares about that? You think God cares about your religious
Do you
practices?
think he needs that?
Yeah, like as if God is sitting like waiting for you to fast. Come on, son, 2 days, no food.
You pump out 2 days and you think God's just like, that's better.
Bro, that's so ridiculous. I don't even think that God's looking at that.
No.
You know, so but again, we're in a very dangerous territory right here.
We did. Let's pedal back.
Yeah, pedal back to whatever we were talking about.
Materialism.
Yeah, materialism.
Society.
So gather treasure on, not on earth, but in heaven. Yeah. How do you get the treasure in heaven? Well, one good first step is fight against the system. Second step, don't be attached to anything, because anything you put before God is an idol. And that is the first thing that God doesn't want. Idols. Thou shalt not make other gods. Why do you think that's one of the first commandments? You know, I'm your God. Oh, hear Israel. I am your God, the only one. There is none like me. Therefore, don't make any other gods.
Yeah.
Don't make any other idols. And we keep making idols in our culture.
All the time.
Yeah. Job, career, money, cars.
Even good things.
Yeah.
You know? Man.
Even good things. Even good things. You put your family before God, that's an idol.
Man. I have a friend that had a saying, and it was, what you fear is what you revere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that a bit.
Yeah. I wanted to put a sermon together, but I'm not sure if I have enough authority to do that, about worship. Because the word worship literally means to kneel down and to revere. But I had this definition that it is not biblical. Worship is attention. It's not biblical. Nowhere in the Bible you find this. And it's just things that came to my head, and I like to think I was inspired, but this could be an instrument of the devil too, so that's why I don't want to preach that message yet.
That's wise.
I got to be certain. But what you pay attention to, it's a form of worship. So taking the risk of being a heretic here, what are we paying attention to?
What are we giving our attention to?
Yeah. So that's that concept. If we keep giving our attention to or paying attention to God, kingdom, not community, not society, not the system, we'll live a worshipful life, if that's even an expression.
Yeah.
Worshipful. Oh,
Worshipful.
what happens in heaven? We worship all the time. That doesn't mean that we sing songs all the time, but we worship. Are we worshiping God with our lives? Oh, no, what does Colossians says? Live a life worthy of your calling. If you are called to salvation, to holiness, then you live your life, your job, your career, your family, your hobbies, your recreation as a form of worship, which is coincidentally is the series that we're on at our church, Chapel. Submitting every area of our life. But man, we've gone all over the place.
That was deep.
Yeah.
That was a deep dive. Do you have a challenge to anyone on the topic of materialism or the want and lust for attention?
Yeah, cut your budget in half. You can do that.
Yeah.
Just look at your budget right now, regardless of where you are, and just cut it in half.
Do a stock take.
Yeah, a stock take, and inventory
Yeah.
of your finances, because your finances, cash. Cash is king. No, Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Cash is a tool. You know how people go, oh, cashless society is dangerous and all of that. I get what they're saying. Cash is king. No. Jesus is king. Even if we go cashless, Jesus is king.
Amen.
So Jesus is king. Cash is a tool. We use the tool to glorify the king.
Amen.
We use things. We love people, not the other way around. So I would say, cut your budget in half. Oh, my mortgage is too high. Well, sell your house. Buy a cheaper house. If it's too high, it's because you can't afford it. And, I'm going to make more money. Well, there's probably a pathway to worshiping an idol.
Yeah.
I need more money so I can pay for this house. No, how about you buy something you can afford? And then just move on from there,
Live within your means.
Yeah. And some people might think this is mediocrity. I think that's wisdom. You live within your means. It's not lowering, because there's a limit to which you can save in a capitalist society. No one gets rich by saving, but we're not talking about getting rich here. We're talking about living a life that is in the form of worship. So where are you at now? If you're striving, if you're struggling, that's probably a sign that you're putting your trust somewhere else. So cut your budget in half. You see how freeing that is.
I did that. Just saying.
There you go. I'm glad you're doing those things, man.
It was challenging, but I'm telling you, the freedom is real.
Yeah.
And now my wife's on board, and it's a real thing.
Yeah. There's this old preaching that used to say, the blessing is in the margin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we got laughed at because we got rid of our TV. I won't tell you who I gave it to, but
Yeah.
we got rid of it. We got laughed at by family friends.
He gave it to me. That's how you do when you want to live a life of holiness. You just get other people to sin. That's what he's doing. Nah, I'm kidding. This is a joke, obviously. This is a joke. Yeah. But it has become our TV room, and but we did a good thing, because now the TV room is intentional, and downstairs there's no TV, so it's just conversations, dinner table, and we're actually watching way less TV, which is good.
I love that.
It's good.
Watch less TV.
Yeah. Cut the budget in half, and live a life that is worshipful.
Man, this is a meaty conversation.
Yeah, well,
That was good.
I'm glad this is turning into it, bro. We had no intention of this turning into spiritual conversations, but I guess everything is spiritual.
It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, like Albert Einstein used to say, you can live two ways, as if nothing is a miracle, or as if everything is a miracle.
And that's how we wake up every day.
Yeah, it's a miracle. Air in my lungs. It's a miracle that people are watching this thing, bro, because this is going on for 40 minutes. All right, I'll see you on the next one.